horror movie and staged events production at Moor Studios, Gaumont British Animation, Part 22, Amelia Earhart, or Amelia Earhart and the Great Directors. Contact information, and this is fair use. All right, we're going to answer the question, which Amelia was more likely to fly airplanes, Amelia Earhart or Amelia Bedelia? So this article came up on the internet a couple days ago. Piece of metal may solve mystery of Amelia Earhart's disappearance. And sort of thought the thing starting to look funny. I got very suspicious, having studied a lot of these different disappearances and conspiracies. So I decided I'd go looking for Amelia Earhart. I tried once before unsuccessfully. However, this time I did it, and it took me less than 5 minutes. For those of you who don't know who Amelia Earhart is, she was the first female to fly solo across the Atlantic. She wrote, she did this, she did that. She disappeared in 1937, apparently crashed, and that's why they believe that there are pieces of her wreckage somewhere. And they declared her dead in 1939. So the first thing I did was pull up images of Amelia Earhart, see if I couldn't find an image of her. And, here's some nice pictures of her, whole troop of them. She's, sort of a medium build, slight build, little medium brown hair, some strong features. Just an FYI, it's no accident this woman's here, but I'm not sure exactly who she is. And so I went to the photographs at Moor Studios, where I found a number of interesting photos. People who've seen the series know that I identified this gentleman who was Bela Lugosi. His name there would be Ralph Wright, and this here is the guy who played Superman in the 1950s, George Reeves, and a couple of other tasty people there. And I found Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow, who's over here. These are the Bonnie and Clyde, and Melvin Purvis, John Dillinger. So they were staging a number of these events, and I figured, well, let me go look at Moor Studios and see if I couldn't find Amelia Earhart. And this is the 14th picture I looked at. When I told you it took me less than 5 minutes, that's true. Those years of studying these photographs, but I pulled this one up and I compared the images in the photograph and hit pay dirt when I got to this lady here. But before we get there, let's look who else is in the picture. Well, they list here photo from the late 40s, Moor crew, and these are the names, and I've put them on the photograph. I identified him in a previous video, same with Ken Hardy. I think I did him also, but let's take a look who's here. What I did here was drop the photograph slightly and expand it so I'd have more room. This is Joe Flynn, Captain Binghamton from McHale's Navy. This is the great director Stanley Kubrick, 2001, Clockwork Orange, Shining, and a host of others. Basil Rathbone, who played Sherlock Holmes, did a number of other movies, also directed the last 19 Sherlock Holmes movies. The great director James Whale, who directed the original 1931 Frankenstein. And here we have Alfred Hitchcock. Great Alfred Hitchcock directed Psycho, The Birds, North by Northwest. The list goes on and on and on and on. So it's a photograph of 1, 2, 3, 5 men, 4 directors. You can argue who's great directors here. At least 2 to 3 great directors here. And this is what makes this work so compelling, because here I can pick out all the great actors or directors who are here and still miss somebody because they're not classically an actor or director. By the way, the reason I was able to get that this is James Whale and Alfred Hitchcock and also Kubrick is they're in another picture over here. So it's a much better picture of James Whale without him sipping from a cup of tea and covering his face. So there's a couple people here I have not identified. This guy annoys me. I must find him. So we're going to see if I'm in fact correct that this is Amelia Earhart with all these great actors, directors. Here are the photos again of Amelia Earhart, and we slap it down on top of this actress, and here, boom, you can see a dramatic resemblance. And we'll pull up, here's another one, we'll pull up some individual pictures so we can get a nice look. And here she is. This is Amelia Earhart, and this is an actress who looks identical, a little bit older again. She dies in 1937. We don't know what year this is taken. Here, this is taken in the late 40s, so it could be anywhere from 46 through 49. So it's approximately 10 years later. But these features are identical, and this is the same woman. Here's a much younger picture. We got a nice teeth here with a little gap. You can see the same large teeth here, and strong nose, this kind of willowy middle brown hair, and same here. This is an identical woman. Again, here's the same gap in the teeth. There's an issue here. I don't know if that's exactly the gap, but and here she is with her aviator hat, and you can see the strong nose features, and appears to be the exact same woman. She should be deceased, and apparently not. It's 10 years later. Again, realize that I didn't go through 2 million images. It took me less than 5 minutes. I said I'm going to go to the Moor Studios photos and see if I can't find Amelia Earhart, and found her on the 14th image sitting next to, of all people, Alfred Hitchcock. Why is that significant? With all these directors there, someone has to direct these hoaxes also. You need directors doing this. They're not just making movies and cartoons. They're also directing things like Amelia Earhart. So, one last thing here. If you take a look, here's James Whale drinking his coffee or tea. James Whale is supposed to be gay. He's got his hand on this woman's dress. It's no accident. The hand's there. I'm trying to figure out why it's there. And, no accident these two are sitting together. This guy's hand is clenched. You have to pay attention to little details like that if you're going to figure out what's going on there. So again, Amelia Earhart, actress, Moor Studios, still alive and well. Well, not now, but then. All right. Thanks for watching. Take care.